Present and future.
Present and future.
Visible and invisible.
Visible and invisible.
For me.
For me.
For my house.
For my house.
For my family.
For my family.
For what I want to know.
For what I want to know.
For what's waiting for me.
For what's waiting for me.
For what might be hidden.
For what might be hidden.
Or if someone's trying to do something to me.
Or if someone's trying to do something to me.
And that God and the saints.
And that God and the saints.
Will reveal the answers to my questions.
Will reveal the answers to my questions.
Okay. So, let's see what the cards say. I don't need you getting frustrated. I know you feel like you want to kill everybody right now. But that's how I felt. So I think everything just kind of went off on me because I just almost killed everybody. Even the guy that was going on the street a little earlier that was driving a little too fast, and I stopped him. So yeah, I'm just on a good one.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Just everybody just. It's insane. One day I'm cool. I'm focused on work, busy, tired, whatever, normal. The next day I'm holding back tears because I don't even know why. I can't even tell you why I want to cry. And then the next day I'm in a great mood. I'm upbeat. I want to dance. And then the next day I want to strangle somebody. I don't know what it is.
When you're being challenged to cross over to something that you don't know about or you're not aware of, your moods are going to spiral until you give them what they want. You've been asking for your muerto, but he hasn't come to you yet.
No.
So he's not going to come to you until you're completely in control of your emotions. And that's a hard thing. It took me a long time.
Okay.
But the moment that I was, is the moment I could hear. You see, we all can hear everything. But do we really hear what we need to hear? And so when you're at peace with everything, when you can't because the only thing that can affect you is what you let affect you. Me, I'm fighting for justice in everything I do. Like, everything's what God would want to be fair. Like, this motherfucker using drugs isn't cool on my kids, and that guy speeding on the street could fucking kill my kid, and, you know, all this other shit that's going on. It's because that's what I know God doesn't want. And now spreading God, like, all over the world, and we're in Ecuador, we're everywhere. Peru, and where's all of Chile? Like, it's just fucking crazy right now. So I think that's what God wanted, because good things are just happening left and right for me. And for Tony, too. Like, he bought Christmas gifts online, picked them up, and they recredited him back his account. So he got them all for free.
Nice.
Right?
Wow.
And I think it's because he's been putting a lot of work in this to get the message out. So even though you're trying to listen, are you really listening? Because you're not going to hear with your ears. You're going to hear it in your mind. I would hope that would have happened to you already, but it hasn't. And when you do think you hear it, respond back, and the answer will come back in your head. Trust me, you're going to think you're crazy. When I started doing it, like, nobody else could hear what's going on, but I could hear what he's saying to me in my head. Even when I've had the opportunity to talk to God a couple times, I can hear what he's saying to me, but I don't tell everybody that because they'll think I'm crazy, but it doesn't matter. The right answers and the right things to do, he always gives me that. They're trying to take me out right now. And the funny part is, when I checked my cards last night, because I was a little worried, the one that's saving me is my son. Matthew was born for that sole purpose, to change things in his life and the world. So he's very gifted. So even though they're throwing, he's blocking everything. So I'm terrified that he's going to get sick, but I don't see him get sick at all with anything. We've all been sick.
Nothing.
Just crazy. So, and he's a trip. He's his own person. But when I ask him for stuff, I get it. So it's sad for me because what you're going to go through, he's already going through now. And I can tell. Because he'll look up and he starts talking, and he'll talk to God, and then he'll look at the cross and he'll point. So he kind of knows everything, but he's his dreams, like, he has to sleep holding onto my arm now, because he wakes up from his dreams scared because he's fighting, he's battling. So you're going to go through all that shit too. I'm waiting for you to go through the fighting thing, but you need to get control of your emotions, and then you'll be able to hear. Remember, think about this. Blind people can't see, but they can see more than we can, because every sense they have comes to life. Touch, smell, taste, hearing, everything. They don't have to. There was a commercial that came on TV where this couple, they're traveling around, and then they get to this cabin, and there's men there, and then people are working there. There's like a little store, And they're like, oh, how do we get to the thing? And he's blind. And he goes, well, it's hard to get there. I'd have to take you. And he's completely blind. But he's listening to the road as he's going, and he's telling them where to turn and how to get there. And then he's like this looking at him, goes, isn't it beautiful? And they're all looking at him like, what the fuck? It's an incredible commercial.
I don't think I've seen it.
You haven't? It's an old man and a couple.
What's it for, though?
A car. It's a car commercial.
Oh, maybe I have. I don't know.
Either way, the point of the story is that even though you think you're listening, you're not. You have to let every sense you have take over. The one thing I was lucky with when this happened to me and all the shit that I've done is that I have all 7 dones, or all 7 senses, which is sometimes very scary. But you need to find out which ones you have, and you will be able to hear them. And then when you hear God, that's in the last step, it'll scare the shit out of you. It really will, because you'll know at that moment, everything you do, you're accountable for. I'll let you know, bro.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh. All right, interesting. It says there's fortune that's coming and there's fruit in the tree, but you're going through depression. So, you miss this guy?
Sometimes.
So, that's another thing that's probably holding you back. It took me forever to understand what I was worth, what my value was. I mean, I'm still embarrassed since they didn't even talk. This girl had me crying in the streets, walking around, poking me around because I thought I couldn't live without her because she had me so embrujado. But when I finally realized, it's like I took my life back. And you can't depend on anybody to bring you happiness. People are meant to complement us, not to complete us. You need to be completed. There's voids that are missing in your life. Things that maybe when you with your mom and other stuff and you're trying to fill those, but you haven't quite made peace with them yet, even though you might think you have. All these different holes that are there, you need to start filling them up. And know that no matter what's happened in your life, it's for a reason. If you're going to help people, and you've probably never seen it this way, you've already been with someone who was codependent, like your mom, on a drug addict. And then also when she went through drugs, you can help other people by what you've witnessed, by what you've seen, and help them to stop the same cycle. But you have to stop it first. And that's the hardest part. And that's depressing. And nobody wants to show their true skin. Nobody wants to be naked in front of anyone else because they're afraid that once you see them, you're going to hurt them. You're in a safe place. I was naked once and it was scary. But you know what? I'm proud of who I am. And no matter what I've been through, it's made me who I am now. And everything that's coming to us is fucking scary. I'm literally about to reopen the company with another partner. So I'm like, wow. And it's all because I'm helping more people every day. When you make peace with knowing that everything that was bad in your life, even your relationships, are meant for you to be able to help other people so they don't make the same mistakes, to save them from what your pain was, or the hurt, or the depression, or feeling alone, or feeling like, you're not worth anything because nobody gives you that special time. It's just not time yet. You're not going to be able to be with someone who's just average. She loves what I do. She loves that I help people. She gets my stuff ready. She takes care. She always has. But even she knew, even her mom's a little brujita too, but she never developed. But when Ellie stopped coming home, she knew she was seeing a brujo or talking to one, and she goes, I have a feeling she's with the brujo. And the family said, she's going to marry him. My mother-in-law said that. Of course, I already knew I was going to marry her too. But I had to be with someone who could accept what I am. Not everyone's going to be able to accept that. And I'm sure you didn't tell the guy you threw cards, right?
No, he knew.
Oh, he knew?
No.
But he didn't know. You've never explained, and you don't even know yet how deep your spirituality is, and you don't really talk about God yet.
No, not really.
And that's what you got to think about. Whatever power you're going to get, you can go 2 ways. You can go from there, or you can get it from there. If you get it from there, there's a price to pay. And I've paid it a couple times. Because at the beginning, that's how I started. I thought was the way to go. That wasn't for me. Later, I went back to him, and my whole life has changed. So you have to make that decision. I started talking to her about God. One night, she goes out with the girls, and they're at a hookah bar. And they're talking about stuff, and my niece busted out with, let's talk about God. And then they're like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, the reason we're here is because of God. Like, did you know that God did it? Start saying a bunch of shit. While she's saying all this stuff, there was like 5 people around them. By the end of the night, there was like 20 people around them. And this huge thing smoking hookah. And everybody's like trying to move in on their tables and shit. And they're fucking all talking about God. So she texts me, she says, listen to this. She recorded. And I was like, wow. And at that moment, I knew I had made a difference. But so that her whole life has changed, like completely. You can't be ashamed to be close to God. That's the hard part. That's what Tony's going through right now. I told him, you can't be embarrassed. That today he was talking about stuff, and I sent him a thing saying, it's happening now. He's touching your heart. You're starting to feel it. You haven't let God really touch your heart yet. He doesn't melt you. You don't feel like without him you can't live. I know without him I can't live, Sam. There's no doubt in my mind. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. And at the end of the day, I know that whatever I say, never once, no matter whom around, is turned around and said, wow, fuck, I don't believe in God. Never. Ever. Because at this point now, you see a guy like me and expect to be talking about God, especially when you're on a construction site. But then I'll start talking, everybody's start talking about it. I'm not saying you're going to be a Bible thumper, but if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk, bro. And it's a hard thing to do. It's a narrow, and I just told that to Tony today. I told him, like, he's touching your heart. Remember, Tony, it's a fine, thin line. And just a whisper can knock you off of it. That's how delicate that line is. And to be able to walk it, you have to know what you believe in and believe in yourself. Those are the things you need to get to. You need to believe in you every day of your life. Dude, there's no way you can reach, like I'm doing now, these TikTok people. They're thousands of miles away. I don't know them from Adam. And I'm throwing their cards like, oh my God. There's people who are saying like, are you watching me? And I'm just like, and one person's like, dude, it's scary. Every time I hear it, I just get fucking scared. It's like you're in my house or some shit. People are just saying all this shit. I'm just like, fuck. The one girl's like, oh my God, you're so right. I've gotten 2 that were bad. And one was because in the beginning we did the videos, I didn't put dates on them. I was nervous. Like, we have a minute and fucking 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So I'm throwing cards fast, and you throw cards down, you don't know anybody who you're talking about, and I've got to it's got to all click in that minute and 15 seconds what's going on in their life. Not easy to do. So, like I told Tony, like, we're doing all this shit, but we're reaching the masses, and it's happening because God wants it to happen. When we threw that one for that girl, I was just like, I trust God. And it hit right on. And what are the chances? It could have been anything. I need help with my boyfriend. I need help with my marriage. I need help with my kids. I need help because I'm a drug addict. It could have been anything. But it was money. And the cards came up as money. So I was like, oh, shit. And so Tony's like, dude, it's starting to, like, affect me. I go, what do you mean? He's like, I'm not going to lie. Like, hearing people respond positively about what you're saying to them, and you're talking about God, and some of them, he goes, it's starting to affect me. Like, I realize now what it feels like to truly help someone and know what it feels like and what you get out of it. And I'm like, it's the greatest feeling in the world. It's the best, most satisfaction thing you can have in the world to know that you changed someone's life and they're going to fucking make it, or they're going to fucking be able to do something different, or let go of an ex, or break a pattern that they haven't been able to break, or have self-confidence in themselves. These are all directed at you, in case you didn't know. And have self-esteem and believe in themselves. That these are such huge things that your life needs for you to be able to go on the track. So you need to think about becoming harmonized with yourself. Have you bought a bowl yet? Mm-mm. We need to go to Chinatown, fool. You need to go to Chinatown and buy a bowl. If you want to go, I'll go with you tomorrow.
You gotta tell me what I need, like, ASAP, so I can, like, write it down and go get it.
The bowl, when you play it, will harmonize you every day, and it'll take you forward. It takes you forward into the spin. I mean, we're all in dimensions, and I think you're still behind. For me, I know there's 10, but I'm like in the 7th. For you, I think you're somewhere like in the 3rd or the 4th. I'm going to get you out of there. That's when your whole life elevates as you move forward. Think about how much time, put this into perspective, how much time you get stuck, feeling miserable,
A lot.
feeling lonely,
A lot.
feeling unwanted. Yeah, why? Because you haven't learned to elevate yourself to a level where everything you do counts for you. When you stop worrying about those things, they'll come to you. And, I mean, it's on the table. It's just, we're in COVID. It's fucking hard to fucking meet people right now, which just fucking sucks. But I don't think he wants you to yet. I think he wants you to let go. I used to always tell girls, and I met a lot of girls that I helped and a lot of girls that I fucked around with and a lot of other shit. And I would always tell them, you may only be in my life for a season, but I want that season to be the best season it could ever be. So even if a man's in your life for a season, there had to be something you learned from it. And that's how you move forward. Everything that happens in your life is a lesson. Your mom using drugs was a lesson to you that you probably never wanted to use drugs. You know, your mom being stuck in a relationship with a guy, but you fell into that one. And so, once you figure out the lesson of what your mom went through, you'll never fall again. You figured out the drugs because it was devastating to you. But the relationship thing you haven't figured out yet. It's time. Okay? It's talking to me so I can explain it to you. It says that quickly something's about to happen. It says, in the past you were a fool. It says, now you need to be strong. It's telling you now you need to be strong. It says, in the future comes broken heart. We'll see what that's about. It says there's a decision that you're going to need to make. One where you become a woman who offers a cup of love. You need to watch out for lies and deceit. Ooh. You thinking about quitting your job?
I don't want to be there.
Have you put out anything else to find another job?
I want to go back to school first before.
Can I do something? Why don't you apply to the city?
I have.
You have?
Yeah, in the past. For what?
Like, not the city like that, like, what's it called? Like DPSS or like those kind of places.
What's DPSS?
Department of Social Services or apply for, how come you haven't applied for any of that? Do you know how much money those fucking people make?
I think I have, but I think you need to have a certain level or, I don't know.
It's not education, because the girl I was with, she was Korean, and she fucking didn't finish school. I mean, she went to college, but she didn't finish. And she ended up getting a job where she was just, I don't know, she worked at a desk. I don't know fuck what she did, but she made fucking, she started off fucking at 18, and then fucking from there she was at 32, and fucking, and they get all your holidays paid and all that shit. Working for the courts.
I've applied to the city. I've applied for the city of LA. I've applied to the county of Orange County, but nothing ever panned out.
What was your resume like?
It's not what it is now.
I mean, I'm not talking about your work experience. What was your resume like? In other words, did you captivate them, or were you just like blah 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 blah? So you can bring it to me because I can help you with that. But when we were going through all the stuff that we were going through, I went through a lot with her. There was like 7 different things going on in her life that I had to change or help her change with God. And one of the things was she's like, I just hate my job. I can't get a job anywhere else. I go, well, you applied at UCSD? Because she worked in medical billing and coding. And she's like, I've applied there like 1,000,000 times, Juan, and I never got in. I go, you haven't applied with me. And she's like, that's not funny. I go, I'm not joking. Why don't we apply together? And she's like, what do you mean? I go, I'll help you. So she came up from LA and came to the house over there, moved over there, and I helped her with her shit. Well, she works for UCSD now. And you know what I mean? So my whole point. She got everything she wanted. Her van used to turn off on them. I remember once they were calling me, because they would call me when their van would turn off. And they'd be like, Juan, like, the van stopped. It's dead. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, okay, I want you to sit there for 5 minutes, and then I'll turn it on for you. And they're like, come on, like, seriously, what do we do? I go, do exactly what I'm telling you. You need to trust God. And they're like, okay. I get a text back, we're moving. Exactly 5 minutes later. Everything she wanted, she got her van. She ended up getting a brand new Cadillac Escalade. Her husband stopped drinking. Her daughter got away from the guy that probably would have destroyed her life. Her little daughter was picked on because she's chubby, and so she was getting bullied. And so I would talk to her on the phone, and she stopped getting bullied. She's like the most popular girl in school now. Like, everything just fucking changed. Even the husband came to see me. And my point is, you haven't applied with me. Okay. So what you really want, whatever it is you really want, besides what we're doing to find a man right now, I'm going to ask you for two things. I'll help you get whatever else you want. So you're going to be happy. But I need you to start learning how to let go. So you need to start reading The Art of War, 40 Laws of Power.
I've read The Art of War.
And what did you get from it besides military stuff?
I have excerpts saved. I have to refresh my memory.
So the reason The Art of War is phenomenal is because in The Art of War it teaches you when to attack, when to retreat, when to play dumb, when to lie in wait. It's a strategy about fighting, about military, but it's also the strategy for life. And in a relationship, if you can see that you're going to be slaughtered going into a relationship, like you'd be slaughtered going to a battlefield, you're not going to go in there. There's a time to retreat for the benefit of you. You have to be number one, not the person that you're with. Because if you make them number one, you're only number two. I hate being number two because I know that bitch is number one. But I get everything I want. You know what I mean? And my point is, and I told her, we had a little argument yesterday. Like, don't, because I said to him, don't you ever, she said something to me like, I got pissed. I said, don't ever talk to me like that. I go, don't ever. She said, or what? I go, don't ask me or what. Don't ever ask me or what. And she's like, so then I texted her later and I said, you want to know the or what? The or what is everything I do for you every day. Everything I do for your mom, your dad, your brother, your family, your sister, everyone. Like the dog, my baby, you, working, killing myself, making extra money, doing whatever I need to do. That's the or what. And if you don't want that in your life, then that's your choice. I said, but I guarantee you I'm not going to ever tolerate that from anyone. I go, I give you respect, and I command respect the same way back. And she was like, I'm sorry. Like, so you don't... With girls, it's easy for you to be a bitch. Especially when you're drinking. I've noticed that. Don't take that wrong. It's okay. We all have our things. But with men, you're afraid. You're like afraid to lose them. You need to learn to let them come to you. Samantha, you're a very beautiful girl. You can have whatever you want. You just don't know that. Because you're too busy worried that you're not. Right now, I'm heavy. I'm trying to lose weight, which is funny because I've been fucking hardly eating and I'm fucking working now on the ground. So I'm fucking walking all fucking day, running, fucking walking. I feel myself losing weight. Came home and weighed myself yesterday. Maybe he'll turn into muscle again, but I fucking weighed 271. I was 254.
That's muscle then.
I don't know, bro. But I looked at Liz and I go, what the fuck? Because, my face started getting a little bit thinner because I used to have my chin like down to here. I can't believe how much weight I gained. I'm like, God, babe, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, she's like, I don't know, babe, but you don't look any bigger or anything. I go, dude, I feel like fucking a monster. Like, I don't know what's going on. But either way, I don't even know where I'm going with this now because I had a point to make with it. The point is that no matter what my self-esteem, no matter what I look like, my self-esteem is still way up there. I'm still an arrogant motherfucker, whether it's at work or even at the store. I'll know if a woman, even if a woman kind of glances at me and I catch her eye, I'll turn and I'll catch her looking back at me. It's not because I'm the best looking guy in the world anymore. Not like when I was younger, I was super good looking. It's because the confidence I exude. You don't have the confidence. You have the fucking big old tattoo on your forehead that says, fuck off. And part of that is because you don't, I don't know if you don't like to smile at people or you're afraid, but you gotta just open up and you kind of just, without the alcohol, I need you to be confident with yourself. What you're gonna do with this You can't doubt 1 second. One, because you could destroy someone's life in a card. In one card, someone could end up killing themselves on your watch. Think about it. You could tell someone, oh, you know what? Your man's cheating on you right now. That person could go take their life because they can't handle it. They're devastated. So your confidence level has to be enough to console them, enough to make sure they don't make any mistakes, and assure them that you can help them, and at the same time, protect yourself by being confident. So that was the longest cover you're ever going to have, but we needed to have this talk. You thirsty? You want something to drink?
Water.
Water? Okay, get it for you. It says it, not good or bad. There's your muerto. There's your muerto. It says, rest assured, you have a muerto. So that tells me that you need to pull your head out of your ass and decide the most important thing you could possibly find in your life is that. It's really like kind of like your guardian angel who wants to like be able to help you to get to the next level. When I was going through all that shit with the girl and all this other shit, I wanted it to all stop because they were bombing on me with brujeria. Everybody was. So when I went, do you want a soda?
No.
So when I went to go be made, that was the most important thing to me. I stopped caring about girls. You know, they keep bugging me like, oh, can I come over? Like, hey, come over, but I'm not really in the mood. Like, if you're not in the mood, like, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm like, I don't really care. But they would tell me, like, I'm gonna fuck you. Like, I'll give you head. Like, all right, whatever. I'd be watching TV and they'd give me head. And they're like, bored out of my mind. Because it wasn't the most important thing to me. When I really knew I got a hold of my muerto and everything that happened, and I got cut and I felt him come in, like, it was scary. Like, when they cut me here, you're supposed to come in through your back. But when they cut my chest, he came into my chest, so he took my breath away. I couldn't breathe. Then they gave me tequila, which is even worse. But I was all cut up anyways. I was all beat up and bleeding from everywhere. So you need to realize that that should be the focus. And you should now start going back into your life and start looking at everything. What did you learn from this? What did you learn from that? What did you learn from this? Break your life apart. And before you know it, those things won't hurt anymore. Because in order for you to be able to help people and evolve, you had to have gone through those things. 7 years of karma with women. When I really wanted to settle down, every girl I knew was fucking around on me. And I was so stupid. I thought I was the coolest guy in the world. I had this hot chick. She was fucking someone else at the same time. And all this other stuff was going on. And I realized I'm not that cool. And I started realizing, like, you know what the fuck? Like, why is this happening to me? And it was because I was such an asshole when I was younger. But, excuse me. But at the same token, all I really needed was to find me. That's the quest. If you're a spiritualist person who has a calling to do something to help people, you're not going to be okay until you find you. And it's hidden in you. And when you start answering all the questions of why, I don't have any regret for all the fucked up things I went through. None of them. You know why? I had learned something from each and every one of those things. Sometimes I tell Tony shit. He has a recorder in his pocket most of the time. Because he's like, I'll see him click it. I'll be like, what are you doing? He goes, people need to hear this shit one day. Like, I hear this shit all the time, and I just think to myself, if people could just hear what you have to say, it would change their lives at the same time. So, and it's because I experienced it. You have to believe that that's what's going to happen to you, that your life's going to change because you want it to change. But if you're dwelling and you miss the guy that didn't care about you, that's like buying an ice cream and the ice cream man took off. It's too late, he's gone, and fucking you didn't get the ice cream, fuck it. But you can always buy another one, you know what I mean? And it probably tastes just as good. But you're not going to know if you're still dwelling on the one that you fucking went down the street. You're like, I'm going to get that ice cream someday. You're never going to get that fucking ice cream. You're going to get a different one, but not the same one, because it wasn't meant for you. All these things have to happen so that the guy that comes to you is for you. And then when you say, I'm able to do this, he'll be like, I love it. I fucking love what you do. Throw my cards. Babe, tell me what's going to happen. Babe, I mean, Eddie's a pain in the ass. If it was up to her, she'd have me throw her cards every night. And I have to tell her no. She gets upset. Like, I won't get sex sometimes if I don't throw her cards. That's how bad it is. You think it's funny? You're fine. I have money for like trying to fucking get me sex. So like, dude, give him some. Like, fucking God. There it is. So this is what's coming for you. This is already started happening to Tony about 2 months ago. He's gonna come and he's gonna shake you up. The last side that he wants you to be on is our side. It's the last side. He wants you to be like every other fucked up person in the world. Either dependent on something, codependent on something, regretting something, miserable with your life, not sure if you want to kill yourself, not sure if you want to be here like I did. All that different shit because he wants you to lose. And then he owns you. Like that stupid motherfucker getting high again or drinking. So I'm going to do it my way. I tried the easy road. I tried to help him. I tried to do whatever. Now I'm either going to stop him from doing it here and he goes somewhere else. But if that means I have to fuck him up, and I've done that with friends, and I've still picked him up. And you've seen how I am with you. Like I told Moni that her and I were kind of thing, and I told her, I've had discourse with everyone for believing in the right things, and I'm going to stand by them. And I'm not going to let anybody challenge that on me. So you need to understand that with everyone that you've come into, you've had discourse. You had things not go exactly the way you wanted. But you had to have learned from that mistake. And if you start to backtrack and you go, why was I in that relationship? Well, I know why I was with the girl that was an alcoholic, because she needed help so she wouldn't be. And I had to experience that for myself. So if someone was sitting across from me, a woman, and she's telling me her husband's an alcoholic, I could say, I know what you're going through. If someone was a drug addict, I could say, I know what you're going through. If someone was cheating, I know what you're going through. The Lord knows. If someone was looking, I know all that shit. And I can relate to you and at the same time help you by bringing your faith and your self-esteem and your confidence up to a point where nobody can touch you. And it's just a shift in energy. People who are married and the person's cheating, the moment you shift energy, that person will start asking, who are you fucking around with? What are you doing? Because they know they're guilty. Mm-hmm. And before you know it, you own them. It's so simple. So temptation is coming for everything. And I know this is on, we're recording this, but and you haven't had sex in a while. So that could be another one of your frustrations. Possibly. But, Are you taking care of yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. There was a point, where I wasn't seeing anybody, and it'd be late at night, and I'm all by myself. I had my own apartment, and so I'd go porn, and then I was good to go. And that made me go to sleep, and I go, because it does get kind of frustrating. But I'm glad I did that at that point in my life, because it let me get to the other things I needed to do, where I started building confidence completely in myself. You've been so close for so long, and you just stay stagnant the moment you walk away from me. It's almost like you should move in here, live with me, so you can understand. But it's true. It took Ellie to live with me to understand, because she was so stuck in her ways. It was crazy. And I knew she would change in 5 years, but damn, you right now, you're in that rut, like you see a car get stuck in mud, and you know it's not going nowhere. You're still pushing the gas, and you want it to go, and you're like, but dude, all you have to do is get out and really look at the situation, and put a couple pieces of wood there, maybe a rocket, and you'll come out. But you're not trying to get out of the situation, you're dwelling on it. You're still pushing the gas and revving the tires in the mud, and you're going nowhere.
I know I have to move forward, but sometimes it's really hard when everyone's rubbing in my face.
Who?
Well, my best friend, for one thing. She's in the most shittiest situation, and I can't even condone what she's doing right now, but supposedly she's happy. But there's so many red flags with this dude that he won't even introduce her as his girlfriend. But yet, that's all she talks about.
So, I know she's your best friend. Let's do something. We're going to test the water. I'm not going to take your friend away.
Please don't. I need her.
I know you. But I am going to teach her a lesson. Okay?
About what?
About you.
Oh.
You see, a true friend will never let their friend fall. They'll always advise them in the right way. They won't rub stuff in your face. They won't make you feel shitty about your relationship. I don't want to cause that chaos for you because I know you need her. But I don't want you to tell her everything anymore for a little bit. You can tell her some things. I know you feel like maybe I'm talking down to you or maybe condescending, but I'm not. I'm just another person, and I'm not perfect. But the experiences that you're going through, girls have a way of giving you advice, and you want to follow. Or they'll be like, well, I don't know, maybe because you did, and you actually think about it, maybe she's right. Your gut is what's going to be right. Your gut feeling. When you met this guy, did your gut feeling tell you when he wasn't calling you and you're looking for him that everything was all right?
No.
Did your gut tell you that he wants me?
No, it was always questioning it.
What did you just say?
It was always questioning it, whether or not he wanted me or not.
You shouldn't have to question.
I know.
And those are the things that you don't, those are when the tires are spinning in the mud, when you just say, I just need to get out of this and get myself out of it because I'm wasting my time. There's nothing worse in this world than wasted talent. Nothing worse. And right now, you're wasting your talent. There's so much more he wants you to do. He just needs you to get out of the bog. And you saw that when we did the ruins. The ruins said that you're like a cow stuck in a bog. You're in a bog. And the only way out is to get out and assess the situation. So just don't tell her everything. I have a feeling there's, and I think with a lot of people with you, there's a lot of jealousy around you for some reason. And
I thought that was just me being cocky.
That's how it was with me my whole life, even till now. Because because I was very confident, very arrogant. People would see that as threatening.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they become envious.
Yeah.
Because you're so serious and so quiet, and no te prestas right away. You don't allow yourself to be, hey, you know. So I'm saying you need to smile a little more so you put people at ease. But that seems strange because it seems like you have everything together. But they don't see what's going on behind the facade. And no matter what was going on in my life, unless I opened my mouth, people thought I had it made. Like, when we started the company, yeah, okay, I have a Mercedes, but it's an old fucking Mercedes. But people thought, this motherfucker's got money. They thought he thinks of shit. Those things. Tony Tan, like, dude, they see you rolling up and they think, oh, fuck. And I'm just like, what? He goes, yeah. I go, dude, they don't even know that we're barely fucking paying our people right now. We just started. And Tony's like, oh, I know that. But they don't. They think you're fucking balling out of control. I mean, I went to a job site when the owner was like, dude, nice car, like, fuck. Like, and it was like almost brand new back then. I'm like, dude, like, it's not a big deal. It's like a 2006. He's like, oh, yeah, that thing's fucking nice. But it was just like, it's the image or the persona that we give off. And that persona that we give off is so that nobody gets too close. At the same time, you have to know that if people are jealous of you, even the closest people are the most jealous of all.
That's a wrestle in my head. I don't know.
Even with your friend?
Mm-hmm. Because I don't know. There's little jabs she'll take at me, and I'm just like,
that's what I'm saying. And a real friend doesn't jab at you like that.
But then sometimes she's just, she's ditzy. So sometimes I think maybe she doesn't realize how that came off. Maybe that wasn't intentional. I don't know.
Obviously not that ditzy if she knows what she's doing in her relationship and it's really not what she wants, but she makes it seem like it is. Because she's not going to let you be able to take jabs at her. Notice that no matter how many people come to me, I don't jab you to hurt you. I jab you to wake you up. Because I used to get fucking jabbed all the time. Because I had the tendency to tell people everything. And I had to learn with who and with where. My best friend, I could tell him anything. And he was cool. But I had another friend, everything I told him, it just got me in more and more trouble. Because his girl knew my girl. I was like, dude, why are you fucking saying, nah, bro, you gotta keep it real, dog. Like, I go, dude, are you jealous, dog? Why would I be jealous of you? I go, I don't know, are you? Because you want to go out with the girl that I'm going out with? You can go out, you can fuck her, you can do whatever you want. I can give a fuck. I'm not going to stay with her. He's like, see, you don't care about nobody like that. And no matter what I did, they were threatened by it. You need to be careful. I think even if this girl hung herself, we'd be able to fix that so that you can have a good relationship with her where she doesn't jab at you. But no one can judge you, man, not even me. And no one can say anything or tell you anything about your relationship or jab at you. Why should they when look what they're doing? Why don't you fucking jab her up a little bit and see what she does? Well, aren't you fucking stupid? Like, look what you're going through. Like, he doesn't even fucking tell you he's your boyfriend. Like, dude, are you serious? She would fucking flip out.
I've tried. We've gotten into arguments about it.
You don't know what you're talking about. Like, it's not like that. Mm-hmm. Like, he just doesn't want to make it known to everybody. Mm-hmm. When someone starts making excuses for their relationship, it's because they're not happy. Every time we talk, you had excuses. Well, it's because he's going through this. I'm like, bitch. And then he's like, no offense. And then he's like, you're like, I go, yeah, but then but you know what I realized? One, like, maybe I'm like, and I'm listening to you, and the whole time, I know you see me rolling my eyes when you're talking to me about it, because I'm just like, wow, I've seen all this before. And so did you. Are you desperate? And you're like, fuck no.
I'm not.
Oh, then only desperate people hang on to desperate relationships and situations now.
Yeesh.
And I know that, and I'm sorry, but I need to be straight up with you 100%.
No, I know.
You don't need to be desperate. What's coming for you is already meant. You need to find your level of confidence and self-esteem and believe in you. And every day is a happy. I've been going to work so happy. I came home and I was fucking singing, cleaning the porch. Because I know my son is gifted like I am. I know I'm reaching out to hundreds of people, thousands of people. I know that fucking I'm doing the right things. They try to come after me for more child support. I'm like, dude, I don't even have kids anymore with that. You know, they're fucking all grown. And they're still trying to come after me. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I was like, you know what, God? Help me with this. Just take care of this for me, God. I'm going to do everything you want. Just, I need to go through this again. It disappeared. It just disappeared. So, please, start breaking your life apart and answer those questions. Because when you get down to it and you start breaking it, each part, like even when you were a kid, there's things that happened when you were a kid that were very traumatic. I know what happened. So, those things, it happens to a lot of us. And I'm saying to you, at this point, you need to make peace with that. And what did you learn from that? Or what will be the lesson you'll teach someone from that? Like me, you know, at 9 years old, I was molested. Thank God I was a girl. But, you know, I wasn't sucking some guy's dick. But at least still it was very traumatic for me because I was 9 years old. And the girl was like fucking 15, 16. But anyways, we won't get into details. But the whole point is, it still was a little, and that was what got me like really into girls, like wanting to bone everything that moved. So everything has its cause and effect. And you need to rectify that with yourself. And the only way you can do that is what I found, is by finding the good in everything. There's a movie that came out with Will Smith. Fuck, what the fuck is it called? I gotta remember. Just the name of it says it all. It's finding the something beauty in every. Oh my God, what's it called? Collateral Beauty. It's called Collateral Beauty.
Okay.
So Will Smith is this owner of this company. I gotta tell you this. So Will Smith is this owner of this company. He's got these friends that are with him, and his daughter gets cancer, and she dies. And he has this problem with his wife now. People fall apart when a child dies. And he starts writing letters. And he has four partners, or four people that are in with him, but he's the owner, but they all have shares in the company. And they need to make this huge contract or sell the company so that they get paid out because they all have things pending. One guy's dying, the other one's got problems with his wife, and then the other girl's got these other things going on with her life. So they all have these things they need to take care of it, and they don't want to be left with no money. So they're trying to get him to get motivated. But he starts writing letters. He wrote a letter to death. He wrote a letter to death, to time, and to love. And he starts talking shit to him in these letters. Well, the guy decides, we need to do something about this. So I don't know how it happens, but he walks in to this theater. And as he walks in, there's these three actors, a black guy, an old lady, and a younger girl. And they're acting at this thing, and he starts clapping. He's like, oh my God, like, that was incredible. And they're like, oh, thank you. Like, he goes, I'm sorry, but I walked in here, and I heard this, and I love theater, and I just wondered, like, when is your show coming up? And they're like, oh, there is no show. We don't have any money for any show. But here they are in the theater. And so he's like, well, maybe, when I'm probably going to come into some money because they're trying to get that deal done. I would love to, be able to support you guys to have, a show. And I go, well, that'd be great. So he goes and meets him, gives him his card. And then he goes, well, maybe you can help me with something else. You see, my friend is writing to love, to death, and he's writing all these things. Because maybe if he thought he was actually talking to them, then he'd be able to, like, realize that he's losing it. He's trying to think that this guy's really losing it. They're like, do you want us to act? And they're like, how much do you pay us? I'm like, $20,000. Like, it's money, whatever. This is trippy. So then they end up, he's like walking one day, and the lady's deaf. The older lady's deaf. She walks up to him. She goes, hey. And he's like, hey. And she goes, so why are you writing me letters? I'm like, what? She's like, why are you writing me letters? He goes, what are you talking about? You wrote a letter to death. And you said da-da-da-da, and here I am. But as they're walking, this kid and the mom are walking by, and the kid goes, Mom, who's he talking to?
Shit.
So he's like, what the fuck? So then they're talking and shit, and he's like, just leave me alone. So then love comes to him, and then time. Because he's blaming time for, why would you take my daughter so young? I'm going to cry because it was really a good movie. Why would you take my daughter so young? She's time. You took the time away from that I had with her. He goes, no. So every day he goes to this there's this a little building, and they're having these meetings for people who are grieving, for people who have passed away. And he just looks through the window. And there's this pretty black girl in there, and she's the one running everything. And he wants to go in there, but he can't. So then time, death, they all come to him again, and he's starting to lose it. Like, now he thinks he's really starting to lose it. And he goes in there and he sits down, or he goes in there and she's like, can we help you? And he walks out. He can't do it. He's at the thing again the next day, and he finally walks in, and she goes, it's okay, you can come in. It's okay, you can come in. Sorry. So he comes in, he sits down, and she's like, do you want to talk about it? He's like, no. And he can't even talk about it, bring it up, and she's like, it's okay. And so other people are talking about the death, his daughter died from cancer, so he just can't face it. So finally, he goes in one day when everybody goes out of the class, and the girl's there, and she's like, Howard, do you want to talk? And he's like, yeah. She's like, what can I help you with? And he's like, I think I'm losing it. Like, I wrote some letters, and now they're showing up, which is really weird. So they want to prove that he's losing it so they can take the company and they can sell it themselves, because saying he's incapable. So they hire someone to film him talking to the person, but then they blank the person out. But really and truly, nobody ever blanked it out. So finally, he comes to terms with everything. He's starting to talk to this girl, and she's also lost a child. She lost a daughter as well. And it was fucking crazy. And then he's like, they're starting to get along, and I think he kind of likes her. And then they show this video at his work, and he's like devastated, like, he realized at that moment that he's lost it. Well, he ends up going to this girl's house, and he walks in, and she's there, and she's like, has the video on, and it's the video of her daughter who died. And then he's like staring at it. She goes, Howard, tell me what happened to your daughter. And he's like, he can't. And she's like, Howard, tell me what happened to your daughter. And he's like, and she goes, Howard, please tell me what happened to your daughter. She goes, my daughter died of pneumoplastic, 4th stage cancer, and she was 6 years old. And then she goes, do you want to know how my daughter died? And he's like, sure. She goes, my daughter died of pneumoplastic cancer. She was 6 years old. That was his wife. He was so destroyed by everything that his wife was actually the one doing the grievance classes so she could cope. And he realizes at that moment that he can finally admit that his daughter's gone. And that was the wife he had left that he came back to.
Oh my God.
It was amazing. I'm sorry. But it just shows you. She sits down with him after, and he goes, how did you get through it? And she goes, It was the collateral beauty. And he goes, what? What do you mean? What's beautiful about that? What? She goes, it's the collateral beauty. And she goes, what do you mean? And then they face back into the movie, and she's sitting there in the chair. Her daughter's dying in the other room. And as her daughter's dying, the same old lady, which I know to be true, the same old lady sits down next to her who actually went to Howard. And she goes, are you losing someone? And the wife says, my daughter, in the other room. And she goes, it must be very difficult. She goes, it's very difficult. And then she says, just remember the collateral beauty. And she looked at her like, and she walked away. And the collateral beauty is basically everything that you overcome to become the person you are. And out of everything you've experienced, there's collateral beauty in everything that God's put you through. You just have to see it. And those are the gifts you get, the lessons you learn that make you who you are. In everything, even in death. And at the very end, he's walking away with her. They're holding hands because he's still in love with her. Because she asked him, do you love your wife? And he said, yeah. And he asked her, do you love your husband? But it was like they were strangers. It was just an amazing movie. You got to watch. It's called Collateral Beauty. He looks up, and the three of them are up there. And then she looks up, and they're gone. Well, the friend that was dying, the old lady knew. And the reason she knew is because she really was death. Like the Santa, she's death. She's coming for him. And that's one of the reasons she was there. And she told him, you haven't told anybody, have you? The friend. And he's like, told him what? He goes, you're not doing so well, are you? You're dying. And he's like, I haven't told my family yet. He goes, have you made arrangements? Have you made plans? Have you done anything? I can't tell them. That's why I'm trying to get this deal done. I need to talk to him. So he finally ends up doing all that, gets his arrangements done. He dies, but she was dead. So what really happened, if you put the whole story at the very end, the friend that was there, that was his partner, didn't really walk into a theater. He walked into time, death, and love.
I can't believe I've never heard of that movie before. That sounds amazing.
It was an amazing movie. It blew me away. Because it's really true what happens. When death comes, it comes for us all. And there really is a woman who's death, who comes to take you. So when someone dies, we grieve. We all were devastated. My dad just went through that with his mom. And he couldn't talk to anybody. One night I was sitting outside and he walks up to me and he's like starting to talk, and I said, you okay, Dad? And he's just like, my mom. I go, I know, Dad, but I gave you time because I'm bringing up time. I go, I gave you time. She was supposed to die 3 years ago. And he came to me 3 years ago when I was at the other house. And he said, I'm not ready. I can't do this one. I can't. And I go, it's okay, Dad. I know you can't. I got this. I'll take care of it. I know what to do. It's going to be okay. She's not going to die because she was already going into surgery. She was going to die. They said there's no way she's going to make it. Well, she made it. And she ended up living another 3 years very strongly. Till recently when she was already 92 and she was tired. So he's talking to me about all this stuff. And I said, Dad, there's something beautiful about being able to live to your 92. But I think we all know when we're done, when we're tired. And she was tired, Dad. She wanted to be with Dad, with her husband or your dad. And there's nothing wrong with that, Dad. And I know you're sad and you're grieving, but she's okay, Dad. Like, she's going to be fine. And you need to look at all the beautiful things. He's like, what do you mean? I go, like when you were a kid, like what you did with her and what your experiences. And he started telling me stories. I was crying. He was telling me stories like, we used to live by the things. We worked by the fish market, and we'd go out there and I'd set traps, and the fish would come in, and my mom would take me in there, and she worked sometimes at this bar because we didn't have money, and that's how she had to get money from. But she did what she did, and then I was bad. I would go ditch school, and I'd be out there playing trompos and stuff, and other kids would be out there, and then one day I got caught, and he's telling me all these stories. I remember he got in trouble, and it helped him to realize that in death there's still beauty. And in everything we experience, Samantha, there's still beauty. Even if it's the breakup of a relationship. That man who was there for those moments gave you something that you haven't realized yet. Either the ability to see something when it's not really there anymore for the next relationship, or to help someone, or maybe he gave you the ability to see if you can help someone else. Whatever it is, you got to find it in everything in your life. And then there's no more regret. There is none. I have no regret in my life. One. But I'll never be able to fix that. That's when I would have taken my life. But even then, I learned just how valuable life was. In everything I've done, there's a life lesson. So think about what I'm telling you, because this is why you're angry and then you're okay. You're almost bipolar. And the reason is because your emotions are surging. You're trying to find him. He's inside you the whole time. And all you have to do is make peace with it. And if you can do that, even the worst thing, like I told Tony, even in the worst, and I wrote it to him today, even in the worst things I've experienced, even in my losses, Tony, I've always learned something from God that's helped me in my life. And he's like, fuck. Tony's just like blown away. Like everything I tell him is, especially right now, even in losing this man, there's something great. Even when your mom was using drugs, you learn something. Everything that's happened in your life has set the tone for who you're going to be and how you're going to be able to help other people. Fair enough?
Yeah.
All right, let's go with the card reading. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cry.
Okay.
It says there's a battle that's going on. Well, we all know that, motherfucker. It says a battle that brings tons of opportunities. So we're just talking about this, and here come the cards. And I didn't flip them and look at them. There's a battle going on with you. And it's so that you can see all the different things that you've learned and all the opportunities that you're going to have to do things. It says, and then comes the Lovers. It says you need to leave that past behind. See these swords?
Yeah.
You need to leave them. You need to start dropping them off in the water. Everywhere you go. And just like, here's another memory, here's another memory. But here's what I got. You take away the bad and here's what I got good out of it. And you'll start sealing up every one of those and you'll be fine. It says that's what's hidden. That's what you haven't been able to find. The reason people like us go nuts, start using drugs, get into sex, fucking lose ourselves, is we can't figure out who the fuck we are. Do you really know who you are right now?
No.
Or who you want to be?
No.
Then let's find it. And once you're there, you're going to tell me, like, dude, I have people writing to me from different, like, clients are like, I finally found out who I am. And I owe it all to you. And I'm just like, you don't know it to me, you owe it to him. Like, but they're like, no, but you helped me get there. Well, you've got me in your life now. I mean, I'm still asking for more time because I know I want to be here for him. Take advantage.
Okay.
You can change a lot of things around you. A lot of things. Trust me. The power that comes with knowing who you are and the confidence you have and what you're able to do to help other people. It's amazing. It's just you'll never feel anything better than that in your life. It's like saving someone's life. It says, and here's your depression, which I really didn't want to see. It says magic, money, returning to love, all the things that you want, all making you discontent. So the fact that you want to be more successful, the fact that you want to be in love, the fact that you want to do the magic thing, all these things are weighing on you, but you can't take them all on at one time. And so you're bogged down in the bog because you can't let go of this to get to that. So we're going to go with that first.
Okay.
And you really got to do it. You can't tell me this and go home and be like, yeah, you're talking about this shit. I really need you to go through your life and be like, what did I learn from this? What did I learn from this relationship? What did I learn when I boned this guy? What did I learn when I did that? In everything you've done, there's a lesson. From the first girl I ever kissed, there was a lesson. And that lesson I learned, the first time I ever kissed a girl was that I was wanted, that I was desired by someone. It was important to me to feel wanted by someone. We all have different levels of things that we need in our life. We just need to know what those levels are. Like, I need tons of attention from her. Do I get it? No. But when I'm really in trouble or I'm not helping everybody else, she'll see it. She'll be, babe, are you okay? And then she'll be there with me. She won't leave me alone. because she knows I might be falling for that moment, or I'm overwhelmed, or I got so many people. Those are the things you need to know what your levels are. It says don't be angry. Like, there's no reason to be angry. Nobody can piss you off even though they're stupid or they say dumb things or they irritate you, try to frustrate you, or your friends jabbing at you. If you have faith in God and you believe that He can do anything, He'll take care of it. But you don't have that type of faith right now. You're still testing the water. I have that faith. With everything that's going on, I don't worry about anything. I know, like, I'll have it the next day. And I always do. And Tony's been tripping out on that shit lately. He's like, what the fuck? I'm like, dude, I don't know. And right now with this stuff, I'm on fire like crazy. It says, quickly, a new beginning. And true love comes sealed. I'm right. I mean, I don't need to really go on with the cards anymore, but I will. Exactly everything I just fucking told you is what the cards are saying. It's saying to you, if you can tie up all that stuff, learn to take each relationship as a step in your whole life. It's okay to miss people, but not to miss people who didn't give you what you needed. That value you have to find balance here, Sam. The value of what you're worth and the value of what someone else will give you and knowing what you are.
I've actually done this with 3 of my previous, like, really serious relationships. I sat down and wrote letters about, my anger and anguish, but I did write down what I learned from each and every one of them. I still have, they're at home, but I haven't done it with him. I think she taught me more about myself than anyone.
Okay. Did she teach you about deception?
It definitely about deception.
About being naive?
Yeah.
About knowing that someone's going through something, still willing to put yourself out on a limb for them?
Mm-hmm.
The difference with me now is that even though I know someone else is going through something, I'll put myself on a limb for them because it's not emotionally attached to me. But if Liz became a drug addict, I would get her help because she's my wife.
Mm-hmm.
But if we were just seeing each other, she was a drug addict, I would never get involved. I would help her, but I wouldn't want to get involved in a relationship with her because the only person I'm going to hurt is me. Those are the things you got to pick out of those things to realize every red flag. The fact that she was deceptive to you, controlling to you, manipulative to you. You have to be able to see that in everybody now. And you should be able to know what each one of her triggers were that let you know that she was about to lie to you, about to deceive you, about to turn the tables on you. So that when you see this, someone's like, oh, you're not going to turn the table. I've been through this way too many times. You ain't going to do this shit to me. I mean, I do that with Elizabeth, like, dude, I already know where you're headed with this. Like, you should stop now. Like, and she'll be like, okay. But it says, because you get through all those things, the new beginning comes. So everything's on hold for you. It wants to go quickly. It says, death. I told you that. Death and patience brings health. So in other words, and when death is there doesn't mean you're going to die. It means that death is the death you have to feel. At some point, maybe one day I'll sit down and explain the whole graphic story to you like I did to Tony and see how it affects you. You have to portray death, and it said that in your ruins. It's like almost like going through a death to be born again, to rebirth. And so the only way you can do that is if you made peace with everything, or you're never going to be able to die. You'll die with regret. For what? For someone who didn't care about you. For someone who didn't love you equally. With someone who didn't see you as the most beautiful person in the world. All those things are unfair to you. When do you get justice? The moment that you balance those things out and figure out what you learned from them. Okay, this is what I got from him. I can step up now. This is what I got from her. This is what I got from my mom. This is what I got from this experience. This is what I got for fucking around with this person. This is what I got for doing this. All those things will step you up and elevate you. It's time to elevate. It's time. Like, we wait a long time, Sam, and I know you think it's just going to happen. God helps those who help themselves. Okay?
Okay.
It says, you need to be strong, and it's talking about now. You need to be strong, or you're going to get destroyed. In order to become a brujo, and this is what we're headed for, you have to let go of the girl from the past. or there'll be hardship. This is what you're going through exactly right now. You're like up and down, up and down. That roller coaster for me was fucked up because I hated roller coasters to begin with. Going up was the greatest thing in the world. I'm dating this new girl. Oh, I just fucked her. Oh, she really likes me. Oh, she's fucking someone else. And it was really like that, right? It's horrible. You're coming back there like, what am I going to go back up? You're fucking turning. And you're like, you're already getting sick. And then if you get to go back up again, you're like, okay, we're going to be okay now. We made up. It's just horrible. You need to get off that roller coaster. You need to start climbing. There's no coming down. You might go, but it's going to be a small one. We're not going to go to the bottom no more. You go up and you get crushed. Nobody can crush you but you. Easier said than done, I know, but fuck. You're going to learn. It says the broken heart comes with 3 girls. So there's been 3 girls in your life who've caused you broken heart. Or is it the person that's jabbing at you? You can keep her as close as you want. Like I've always told you guys, keep your enemies as close as you can. Doesn't mean she's your enemy. It just means she's jealous of you. And everyone is going to be jealous of us because they can't do what we can. It says there's a delay though, and so it's telling you it's delayed. But there's triumph. Yeah, we've already cried and everything. Moni, don't even start.
Okay, can you just turn it off when you're done?
Yeah, I'll let you know.
I'm done coming over.
It says there is triumph though, and you become spiritual. So you're gonna make it, and then you'll have everything you want. You'll have money and stuff. You're there. You're just not there. It's like I lay out the game plan for you. This you should ask Tony for, so you can hear this all over again like 2 or 3 times. There's a lot that I'm going through with you right now because I feel very emotional. And I was very angry earlier, so I don't know what the fuck's going on. But with you, I feel very emotional. Like, I feel like I want to take you and just fucking shake you around and be like, Sam, like, and jump inside of you. Not in that way, but jump inside of you and like, tell you, like, let's go this way. Let's go that way. Here's what you see. Here's what you don't. And I can't be the puppet master when I have my own puppet master pulling my strings. So it's all there for you. It's the only thing I can tell you. You've been close forever, and it's all waiting for you to come to terms with you. The person that you want to find isn't just another man. It isn't just, it's him. And him is part of you. Or you wouldn't be able to do any of this without him. Trust me what I'm telling you. Okay? It's a decision that you're going to need to make. One that brings you money. One that brings you your marriage and tons of love, or you return to darkness, brujeria, darkness, temptation, evil. I told you it's one or the other right now. Black or white. You're being tested. And right now, you're 50-50, just like that. One day you're good, one day you're bad. One day you're good. One day you're bad. One day this person can irritate you, the next day they're cool with you. One day your mom's cool, one day she's driving you nuts. One day, I mean, that's really what's going on.
It is.
Because you're not at peace with you. You just gotta find peace for you. And you'll be surprised when you start, like, really breaking this up. When you see, like, when I tell you, what did you give us? You're like, oh no, help me figure out me. That's not what I'm talking about. God wants you to figure out all the bad things those people did to you so that you don't make those same mistakes, so that when I'm sitting in front of him, like, Sam, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Like, she's fucking lying to me, and I'm telling you, I've been through that. I can tell you what to do. Ignore her, let her go. She'll change if you let her go. If she wants you, she really loves you, she'll change. But you've heard that from me to you a million times, and you couldn't let go. But you'll know how now. The moment you break this, you'll be able to explain to me how you can let go. And what you did find. And I had hoped that you would find it yourself, but it's okay. Because it's not that easy to find. Like I said, if I had someone like me when I was going through all this shit, because I got fucked up doing this other stuff. But you have that. Use it. I tell Tony the same thing. You have me. You use it. Because God wants an army. And he's not going to get it if we keep waiting on you guys to fucking figure it out, because it took me 50 years, so I mean, what the fuck, you know what I mean? It says, and then you become a girl who offers love. It says, the burden that's on your back, the sun will shine. So whatever burden you think you have, everything's going to be fine. It says, just don't let anything return to cut off your head. That's the one obstacle. Be careful at work. So it's telling you to be careful at work, like, be on top of your game. Don't. You have, even with me and you could be so close to me, and I can have love for you as a person and the whole 9 yards. But sometimes you can give me that look like, I'm like, fucking bitch, like, why is she looking at me? and you know it. Because I can give that look too. People tell me the same shit. I'll be like, I might be like, what the fuck did I do? I didn't even do this. She'll be like, what? You just gave me that look. I go, what look? She goes, the look like, fuck, you want to kill me? I'm like, no, dude, I just fucking don't like what you said. And she's like, well, fuck, but damn. I'm like, we have that arrogance. And I think you know that. It says, the lies and deceit. I don't know if these are yours or someone else's. It says, work. I don't know if that's work. You feel alone at work?
I feel like...
You don't belong there?
I just don't feel like... I don't know how to explain it.
Are you sociable with anybody there?
Well, it's kind of hard when... I'm working from home, so...
Oh, that's right.
I talk to one girl, like, every day, all the time, but I just don't feel like... I feel like I have to pick up the slack for everybody, and nobody, like, returns that favor for me.
Right. So you feel like you're alone trying to fucking conquer the world.
Yeah, bust my ass, yeah.
I feel you on that. Ooh, my son says... That's crazy. So you need to get this shit done. That's a long way from now. Wow. So, this is far-fetched, as you're going to probably think, but trust me on this. When we're talking, was there a number on this?
That one is 10.
So 10. There's got to be another number here.
8.
18 years. Our kids will meet.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
And
they may end up together.
are you serious?
You need to hurry up, fool, because he's already won. So
Well, I'm trying.
I'm tripping out. It says until the end. And it's because she'll be born... I'm sorry. I'm so 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 sorry, Sam.
No, I've been feeling that forever. I just know I'm gonna have a girl.
Yeah. And you're right. They am together. And he's a little older than her. Fucking crazy. Okay, so, yeah. That was deep. It says, the girl, young girl who's, had money, says the karma has brought you to your knees. So, a lot of karma has come back to you that, brought you to, but most of them were family. I think that was the mom thing that we went through. It says, but there's a change, and a change of homecoming. So, change could be that, I don't know if you guys are thinking about moving.
We're trying to, yeah.
And I talked to this about your mom. It's funny. And I talked to her because she had said something about, no, well, we're not going to go nowhere. I go, I think you're going to be moving. Why are you moving?
Oh my god. There is not enough room in that place. Her and I share a bedroom, right?
No, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Do you understand why she drives me nuts all the time? It's because she's
I know.
I have no privacy. I have no space for myself.
I get that.
And I think that's part of the reason why she wants a bigger place, so that I can have my own space and I can actually...
And the boys?
Oh, she said until they start working and able to pitch in for rent, they get their room together. They share one too.
So you're looking for a 3-bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I knew that was coming. It's going to be fine. I know you're frustrated. It's going to be fine. and that it's gonna be fine. No, but not right away. So what's holding you guys back? Is there's a block on it.
What do you mean a block? A block?
Blocked so you can't get one right now. What's going on? Like, are you guys looking for a place?
We can't look right now because we're still stuck in the lease. Until
That's what's blocked.
April.
That's not too bad.
But we tried doing this last year, couldn't find anything.
Right.
Everything that we applied for, we didn't get, or someone else got it before us.
And you want to stay in that area?
She's trying to stay as close as possible, but she's looking out more towards like Anaheim and Buena Park. I mean, she would rather stay close to her work, but I don't know. She's picky.
Because Downey has some really nice places, and they're a lot cheaper. Some.
I don't know if she's willing, but I can tell her.
Because there was a 3-bedroom down here for like $1,600, and they're nice. And then the ones over here are a little bit more expensive, but they're fucking huge. That one was what were we gonna pay? $2,300, but it was fucking huge. I mean, huge, like the place I had over there. Just not 2-story, but just immensely big. Kitchen, living room, bedrooms. It was huge. But that's on Fifth, because I think they call it Fifth Avenue. But it's really nice. We were gonna move there, but then I was like, why? You know, let's help my parents over here. Okay, so I know why it's blocked, but it's going to happen. I'm not worried about it. When it says change home, it's coming. Okay. If not, I'll lift the block. But you can't because you're telling April anyway, so it doesn't matter. It says, not black or white. Rest assured, your Muerto is waiting. So he's saying, you can't be one or the other. You need to be sure that I'm here and who you are. Everything I've told you tonight. It says, that's how you can defend yourself from getting hurt from anybody. People only hurt you if you allow them to. Words only hurt if you allow them to. You can call me every name in the book and I'll look at you and be like, probably right. Call me a bitch or cut me. Okay. Whatever you want to say. But if you get it in my face, you're getting knocked out. So, I mean, you know what I mean? I know what I'm capable of. It says, that's what's incomplete. It's telling you, this has been I must have known this was coming. It says, and then that's why you're incomplete with the man. Because you don't know who you are. And your level of confidence, I think, with the man, sexually you might be great, but that isn't everything, man. You could be fucking turn the sheets up, be the biggest freak, and the guy be like, fuck, you just fucked the shit out of me, and everything else. But it won't matter if he can see your insecurities. And most people can. I can. But I know you're a lot more in depth. But when you're really getting close to someone, they'll pick up on your weaknesses immediately and they'll turn them on you. It says, the problems are going to go away though, and triumph comes. Here's the card I didn't want to be last. This is the card that'll make or break you. Because he's going to come to you. And he's going to offer you everything you want. Quicker than I could ever give it to you or him. Everything. Overnight. You're going to have to make a choice. And he's going to come to you in a dream. And he's going to freak you out. And he's going to say to you, I can give you everything you want. All you have to do is say, you believe in me. And if you don't say, no, I believe in God. I don't want you here. It's over. I lose you. And trust me, I'll know the difference immediately. I know how people react towards me when things change. It says, he'll leave you hanging, literally. It says, in your own home, tied up, where you won't be able to see, dumb. You'll be like deaf, dumb, and blind. It says, you must choose the right road. Unconsciously. In other words, you must be confident enough when this happens that your subconscious will answer for you in your sleep. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You need to elevate to another level, Sam. It says, then things become complete. Cards couldn't get any more fucking, and then comes God. Love when that card comes out like that. And me. And I'm next to him. That should tell you some shit. That's how close I am. And then it says, the past of your anger is because you're afraid to lose. You're afraid to lose everything that's close to you in your life, and you have nothing really to lose. You can start from anywhere. People pick up literally and have nothing and take off and go to a whole different state and start all over. I never thought I could do that. When I came to LA, like I said, I was homeless. I had nothing here, no friends, no family, no nothing. And I'm fine now. But it's because I fucking overcame adversity. You need to overcome your adversities. It says, Yamaya, in this world, wants you to have your face to face. In other words, time to look in the mirror, tear everything apart, and we'll build it right back. But I know I must have been emotional because you must be going through this emotional roller coaster where we want to cry, and then you want to end, and everything's going up and down. Because I can feel you. And the whole time I'm throwing, I can feel just how heavy you feel. Like, try this, and that will get you clean with another binder down the road. But let's see if you can start tearing things apart. When you go to sleep, are you asking God for signs? Are you asking Him to give you dreams?
I am.
But how are you asking?
What do you mean, how am I asking?
What do you say? It's okay to tell me. I'm not going to make fun of you.
I just ask Him to show me where I need to go, show me what I need to do, tell me, like, give me a sign, anything.
So vague.
I know.
Tell Him, God, I need you to show me who I am and how to get there. I need you to show me what you want me to be, and I'll follow. Whatever you need from me, I'll do. Dude, this shit.